važne informacije koju je generalni sekretar NATO-a gospodin Jens Stoltenberg.
There has been no request for invocation of Article 5. And I think we have to remember that this article has been invoked only once, and that is after the 9/11 attacks in Washington and New York, where several thousand of people were killed. The Article 5 was not invoked after, for instance, the terrorist attacks in London and Madrid, where also many people were killed, and it has not been invoked after other terrorist attacks which we have seen in Europe. But there are many ways NATO can support an ally, and of course all NATO allies stand in full solidarity with France, and several NATO allies have offered and are assisting and helping France in fighting ISIL. And our biggest ally, the United States, is the lead nation in the international coalition fighting ISIL, and all NATO allies contribute, are part of the coalition fighting ISIL. So NATO and NATO countries are playing their part in the fight against ISIL. We assist and help France. NATO allies do that in many different ways. We share information, we share intelligence, and we will continue to do so. Moreover, NATO is playing an important part when it comes to trying to stabilize the countries where we see that a lot of the turmoil, a lot of the violence, which also spreads into our own streets, originates from. That's the reason why we are in Afghanistan. Our largest combat operation ever has as its main objective to fight terrorism, to prevent that Afghanistan once again becomes a safe haven for international terrorists. That's the reason why we do defense capacity building, as we call it, in Iraq and Jordan, to enable those countries to better protect and defend themselves and to stabilize their own countries and the region. And we have to remember that this is not a fight between the West and the Muslim world. Actually, Muslims are on the front line fighting terrorism, and Muslims are the main victims of terrorism, and therefore we have to support them, help them in fighting criminals, extremists, terrorists, as we have seen in ISIL, and all NATO allies are doing that in different ways. Then we have received reports just recently about a new terrorist attack in Mali, and that just underlines the importance of fighting terrorism, fighting extremism, and fighting ISIL. And all NATO allies do that in different ways, and all NATO allies are part of the coalition fighting ISIL. And I think what we have seen recently just underlines the importance of doing that.